You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Coming up, we'll meet some Utah women who are coming together to make quilts for a homeless shelter.
Awesome. Also, love to learn about sunken treasures. Aha, we've got the story just for you.
Arr, and we've got some rain. A little bit of rain booty for you this morning. You'll be wanting to loot the sky as the rain continues to fall. We got more from the Skywatch Weather Center.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thanks for joining us for the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. Authorities in Pittsburgh charge a man for firing a gun near a house with children in it and damaging property. Police say around 3 Wednesday morning they responded to a domestic incident. When they arrived, they found 39-year-old Corbin Murray in the backyard of the home with a shotgun and rifle pointed in the direction of an officer. Police were able to knock the weapons out of his hands and arrest him. Authorities say before that, Murray hit a woman in the home and damaged property while children were inside. Murray is charged with domestic battery, aggravated assault of a law enforcement officer, and 5 counts of aggravated endangering a child. Jasper County Sheriff's Department investigates after a body is found in a vehicle in a rural part of the county. Authorities say the body was found around 3 Wednesday afternoon near Civil War and Pine Road and an abandoned farmhouse in Carytown. Detectives say a vehicle was found behind the farmhouse with the body inside, believed to be that of a missing Alba woman, Michelle Stone. Authorities do not suspect foul play at this time, but the investigation is ongoing. Authorities in Newton County, Missouri investigate after a vehicle flees the scene after rear-ending a motorcycle, injuring its rider. The crash happened shortly before 10 p.m. Monday along I-49 Gateway Drive. Authorities say 52-year-old Bradley Pippin was riding his bike north near the Gateway exit when he was hit. Pippin was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. A Montgomery County, Kansas road is closed Wednesday morning after a train collided with a tractor trailer. It happened on South Walnut near Coffeyville. Authorities say no one was injured in the crash. An Evergy Utilities electric substation in Fort Scott, Kansas, struck by lightning on Wednesday, sparking a fire and knocking out power for thousands of customers. As of 5 a.m. this morning, around 500 people remain without power. Authorities were able to put the fire out at around 11 p.m. last night. The city of Fort Scott has set up Buck Run Community Center as a cooling station for folks who are currently without AC. A local veterinary clinic is looking for a new location. After 22 years of partnership, Paw Prints on the Heartland and the Southeast Kansas Humane Society are parting ways. SEK Humane Society wanted a new lease agreement, but the Paw Prints on the Heartland was unable to meet that agreement. Last Thursday, Paw Prints received an eviction notice.
And Paw Prints could not meet the demands of the lease, and so after failed negotiations, we've been attempting to make it work and keep this as our home, and it didn't work, and so now we've been given an order to leave.
We reached out to the Humane Society for comment, but they declined. You might have seen more scooters on the streets of Carthage recently. The Carthage Parks and Rec Department is holding a trial period with Lime scooters to see if scooters can be a form of transportation rather than just leisure. And the only public transportation in Carthage is a taxi service working out of the sheriff's office. After the trial period, the department will analyze whether the Lime scooters help with public transportation in Carthage.
To open up the city and see if that transportation component would be successful. And so far I would say it has. Our ride counts have gone up just since it started last Thursday.
Trial period ends August 21st. A local government organization is recognizing the hard work of one of its board members. Gene Schwartz has served on the board of the Neosho Transportation Development District for 12 years, working on a project to improve the area's transportation. Now, that project includes adding stoplights to Highway 60 and extending Kodiak Road near Neosho Junior High. On Wednesday, the district held a ceremony to dedicate part of the extension to Schwartz.
It's a wonderful advancement to this area, and I'm just glad that it's all done, and it'll be here for many, many years for everybody to use. And this area continues to grow, which it's going to. Yeah.
NTDD's project is funded through private donations and a sales tax. A buried treasure is recovered after centuries underwater. Explorers found numerous artifacts from the Nuestra Señora de las Maravillas, which translates to Our Lady of Wonders. The nearly 900-ton Spanish galleon sunk after it collided into one of the boats from its fleet and crashed into a coral reef near the Bahamas. The Our Lady of Wonders had been carrying a lot of cargo when it went under, and millions of items have been recovered from the 1650s to the 1990s. And this recent discovery includes coins, jewels, and gemstones that previously belonged to knights who fared the sea. These items will be displayed later this month at the new Bahamas Maritime Museum. Researchers also say they will work with experts to try to figure out how the ship met its fate.
We missed a great opportunity to say, just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a sunken ship. I'm just saying, we told a tale of a sunken ship.
Yes, you did.
No, you told the tale.
I told the tale.
I sang about it.
You sang the tale.
You told the tale. I sang the tale. I gave you,
And now for your pirate forecast.
There's a lot of treasure to steal from the sky this morning. We're dealing with a lot of showers and thunderstorms. But first, we'll take a quick look at this day in history, going back to 1644, when the first weather observations made on a regular basis in the U.S. were taken by Reverend John Campanius Home in Wilmington, Delaware. So he kind of started it all. Not quite the National Weather Service we have today, but that's where it kind of began. And look at all this rain we've got. Now, it's kind of interesting. There's this little donut hole right over Joplin, so it's kind of stopped raining there, but there's more rain and thunderstorms on the way, and a lot of us getting in on the rain action. Despite that, it's still going to be another hot day, so it's cool now, but it's going to warm up. Heat advisories for our southeast Kansas through tomorrow at 8. 7th and range line. The roads are still a bit damp. Otherwise, the sky is dry. For now, don't worry, there's more rain coming. 73 in Joplin after starting at 81 at 5 o'clock this morning. And where it has rained, you can see that it's a lot cooler. Where it hasn't rained, it's a bit warmer. But now everybody's getting in on that rain action. And so when you look at the heat index values, Neodesha earlier was pushing 88 for heat index, and they have cooled down considerably. As we go through the day, though, it's going to be the reverse. We're going to start to warm up considerably. Showers and thunderstorms should clear out by about 10, maybe a few stray showers or thunderstorms here and there through the day. Otherwise, 95 with partly cloudy skies, and of course those heat advisories that are in effect. Heading into tonight, it's going to be really pleasant. We're going to drop into the 70s, the lower 70s quickly. As we start the day tomorrow, maybe even some upper 60s on the boards. Make sure you open the windows, let the breeze in. It's a light breeze. It's going to be a nice, wonderful night, and it's going to get hot, really hot. Future track shows those storms moving out, and then it also shows what we were talking about, maybe a stray pop-up storm or two as we head through tonight and into tomorrow morning. Otherwise, it's going to clear out. Maybe, again, another stray pop-up storm tomorrow, but otherwise hot, hot, hot. And that is exactly what it's going to be like. So those heat index values are going to be pushing into the lower 100s yet again tomorrow. And I check out the 7-day forecast, shows why. 96, it's going to be cool today compared to what we have the rest of the week and into the weekend. Sunny skies, hot, highs pushing close to 100. Then it cools off again by next week, as we do have a chance of maybe some showers and thunderstorms as we start the work week. It's a low chance right now. We're hoping that chance increases because, as we've said for so long, we need the rain. So we're definitely welcoming the rain we're getting now, and we're hopeful that we'll get more by the start of next week.
All right, well, up next, we'll have why physicians need 24 hours when it comes to preventative care.
And later, we'll have why a local veterinary clinic is looking for a new home. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Everyone likely remembers their summer jobs. One Colorado girl about to head off to college had an experience she'll definitely never forget. Jason Grunauer has that story.
Pretty calm day usually.
At least that's what 18-year-old lifeguard Natalie Lucas was expecting.
Thought, we'll go for a swim, it'll be nice and cool.
Expecting mother Tessa Ryder, 9 months pregnant when she got in the pool at the YMCA in Longmont, didn't last in the pool long.
Then it suddenly dawned on me that we were not making it to the hospital, and he was coming out right then and there. The husband tells me that they're having the baby right now, and I'm like, all right, sounds good. The adrenaline kind of kicks in right then and there.
Natalie called for someone to call 911, grabbed a medical bag and towels, and was right there with the couple as Tessa pushed.
She was there to do anything that we asked, and the first thing that I could think was, yeah, could somebody hold my back up? And that was exactly what she did, and it was perfect. The baby was kind of already coming out, and it was a quick, I would almost say less than like 5 minutes that it all kind of happened.
Baby Tobin was born, happy and healthy, on the pool deck of the Y.
Without her, I would not have been able to safely focus my attention on making sure that, Tobin came out and he was safe and healthy.
Complete with a thumbs up from a lifeguard, just there to help.
I stayed calm and I helped them through from beginning to end of what all happened that Sunday, and so it was definitely quite a crazy thing to happen, but I'm pretty proud of myself.
Yeah, they weren't specifically trained for this very specific thing, right? But they knew how to be there for you.
Hi.
Natalie is off to college in the fall with an experience she wasn't expecting, but one that she'll never forget.
I do hope to send the little guy birthday cards here and there.
As for baby Tobin, well, he gets a lifetime membership to the Y.
It's definitely going to be a swimmer.
Probably.
That's awesome. And those are the great stories that you get to pass on to your kids later on and tell them when they get older. You were born at the local YMCA pool, and it was a lifeguard, a teenage lifeguard that delivered you because you just couldn't wait. You had to come right now. It had to be right now, huh? I don't have any cool stories to tell my kids like that, but those ones are absolutely interesting. Well, the YMCA of Northern Colorado shared a special message to Lucas on social media, noting that delivering, quote, a baby during her Sunday shift was something surely not covered in the job description. I would certainly think not. Something that's covered in my job description is to bring you the forecast, and I'm bringing you a decent one, at least for this morning anyway. We've got widespread showers and thunderstorms. In fact, I'm going to back up real quick because I want to show you how this has unfolded this morning, because I left my house at about 3:30 in Joplin this morning, and this is about what it looked like. There really wasn't much out there, and you see this little guy down by Joplin. As I was driving on North Main towards Stone's Corner, I started seeing lightning, and I said, what? Because I checked the radar before I left the house, and by golly, that little guy, and look at how much lightning he generated in just a short time. I was like, okay, well, I'm glad I'm heading in right now because, boy, it decided to rain. It decided to rain good, and it's continuing to do so. Showers and storms continue to build back off to the northwest and move to the southeast. So despite this weird donut hole right over Joplin, Carthage area, it's going to start raining again. We also have heat advisories to contend with, unfortunately, for these counties in southeast Kansas, northeast Oklahoma. This goes until tomorrow at 8. 7th in range line right now, that donut hole, it's not like the eye of a hurricane, though, because as you can see, it's still cloudy in Joplin. It's just dry for the moment, but that's going to change. 73, we started at 81 in Joplin. I just can't get over that. That's how much difference the rain made. Starting at 81 at 5 a.m. in Joplin. A lot of us saw the same thing, like Neodesha, for example. They had a heat index earlier of 88 degrees. Now all of us are getting in on the rain. Earlier you could also see where the rain had been and where it hadn't. All of us getting in on the rain, so those heat index values are practically non-existent at this point, simply because we all have seen some kind of rain. As we head through the day, the rain will clear out in its widespread form by about 9 or 10 o'clock. There may be a stray storm throughout the day, otherwise 95 for an afternoon high, so it's going to get hot fast. And we got a decent night. Temperatures dropping into the lower 70s overnight, so give your AC a break if you can, because it's not going to last. That 7-day forecast shows us exactly what I'm talking about. 98 tomorrow, 99 Saturday and Sunday, pushing 100 starting the week. And we have some rain chances by Monday and Tuesday next week. They're low right now, but maybe Mother Nature will give us a break and increase those chances and bring us more rain. We've got more of the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14 right after this.
A group of women in Utah come together to give back, each dedicating their time and effort to creating quilts for a homeless shelter. Mithili Gooby has more on their active service.
More than just fabric stitched together.
What would I be doing now if I didn't have this?
It's a community working to make a difference.
Very nice. Oh, wow.
in the lives of strangers to make them feel welcome and comfortable.
Somebody cared enough about them to do and make something for them.
Karen Pinkelman has volunteered with the Tooele Community Resource Center for over a year. She wanted to find a way to give back using her special talent, quilting.
What do you need? And then she came back and said, we would love to have homemade quilts on the beds at the Harris facility when they open up. And I thought, I think we could do this.
Along with about 50 other members in the guild, these women get together about once a month to design and cut fabric kits, sew pieces like these, and enjoy each other's company.
It's really fun. We talk about everything. I mean, shoes to food to women talk. And it's just really fun. We laugh, we giggle. And it's good to do this and let it out.
Pinkelman says she has been charity sewing for years, and she is grateful for the impact that her pieces can make.
Important to other people. They're important to me.
And they're important to the people who will find shelter at the Harris Community Village and see a labor of love on their beds, handmade by the Tooele County quilters.
It makes a difference. It makes people have connection to the community, and that's how we help people learn to be good neighbors. It means a lot, so thank you so much.
Pinkelman says she loves being able to use her passion and talent to help people around her.
To me, it's really important. It's a part of my life. I love fabric. And of course, you always buy too much of it. You don't know what to do with all of it. And then I've had friends that have passed away, and I inherit all their gorgeous fabric. But you can't take it with you. So why not share it and make somebody else happy?
I absolutely love quilts and everyone who's ever made one for me and my family. We'll be right back with Health Watch after this.
In Health Watch this morning, a study published in the journal Hypertension says healthcare providers should measure blood pressure in both of a patient's arms. They should then use the higher of the two readings to determine if a hypertension diagnosis is warranted. Study's authors said widespread adoption of the practice would lead to more people getting the treatment they need to keep their blood pressure within a healthy range. Another new study says primary care doctors would need more than 24 hours a day to follow every recommended guideline for preventative, chronic, and acute care. The analysis was done jointly by Johns Hopkins University, Imperial College London, and the University of Chicago. It found that an average primary care physician would require 26.7 hours to fully treat a typical number of patients. It said the workload can be reduced by employing more nurses, therapists, and other health professionals. And new research says getting a whiff of the great outdoors is good for you. It said the smell of clean forest air triggers a relaxing emotional response in most people. Studies said that feeling was boosted by the absence of negative urban smells from smog and garbage. And even though it's raining, today's a good day to get out and smell some of that fresh air. And if you don't want to do it out in the rain, that's perfectly fine, because it'll clear out and then it'll be nice tonight to go out and do that. So we're still watching showers and thunderstorms all through southeast Kansas, slowly moving to the southeast. We got this activity pushing out of our area, all of this making its way to the southeast. As we go through the day, though, it's going to warm up again. So heat advisories for southeast Kansas and parts of northeast Oklahoma, they go until Friday at 8 p.m. 7th and Rangeline, it's cloudy. There's a little bit of a donut hole around Joplin in terms of rain, but it's still cloudy and the rain will continue. See the darker clouds off in the distance? It's on its way. 73 is where we're at in Joplin right now. Most of us now have dropped into at least the 70s because we're all starting to see some of that rainfall, and that's also negated the heat index almost entirely compared to what we were seeing this morning. As mentioned, Neodesha, they were at 88 for a heat index this morning. Things have gotten a lot better. So as we head through the day, most of the rain is going to clear out by about 9 or 10 o'clock. There may be a stray storm or two. Otherwise, we're going to be hot and dry, 95 by 5, 92 by 8. Of course, we have those heat advisories and the storms that will be clearing out. As we head into the overnight, things really clear out. Temperatures drop off nicely into the lower 70s, so it's a good time to give your AC a break, open the windows, enjoy that fresh air, because it's going to be absolutely wonderful. A quick look at the future track shows those storms will all kick out of here. Temperatures will start to rise, and as we enter the night and into tomorrow, you can see where there may be a stray storm or two, but most of us are going to remain dry, and then temperatures are really going to heat up come tomorrow as we push the mid to upper 90s for most of us, which is also going to push those heat index values up tomorrow, close to 105 in some areas, and hence why this portion of southeast Kansas, where it's going to be hotter, has that heat advisory. It's in effect. Now, heat advisories could return as we head into the weekend because we're all getting in on this action. Highs pushing close to 100 as by Saturday, Sunday, and even tomorrow. And then sticking around Monday, and then a cool down Tuesday and Wednesday as we have maybe some scattered storm chances on those 2 days. But right now those chances are low. Hopefully they'll increase. And of course we'll keep an eye on those rain chances because we certainly need more than what we are getting and what we have received so far. More of the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14 coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:30. Let's take a look at today's top stories. The Jasper County Sheriff's Department is investigating after a body is found in a vehicle in a rural part of the county. Authorities say the body was found around 3 Wednesday afternoon near Civil War and Pine Road at an abandoned farmhouse in Carytown. Detectives say a vehicle was found behind the farmhouse with the body inside, believed to be that of a missing Alba woman, Michelle Stone. Authorities do not suspect foul play at this time, but the investigation is ongoing. Authorities in Pittsburgh charge a man for firing a gun near a house with children in it and damaging property. Police say around 3 Wednesday morning they responded to a domestic incident. When they arrived, they found 39-year-old Corbin Murray in the backyard of the home with a shotgun and a rifle pointed in the direction of an officer. Police were able to knock the weapons out of his hands and arrest him. Authorities say before that, Murray hit a woman in the home and damaged property while children were inside. Murray is charged with domestic battery, aggravated assault of a law enforcement officer, and 5 counts of aggravated endangering a child. Evergy Utilities electric substation in Fort Scott, Kansas is struck by lightning. It happened on Wednesday, sparking a fire and knocking out power for thousands of customers. As of 7:30 this morning, around 500 people still remain without power. Authorities were able to put the fire out around 11 o'clock last night. The city of Fort Scott has set up Buck Run Community Center as a cooling station for folks who are currently without AC. Carthage School District regroups after the failure of a bond proposal for a new performing arts center in Tuesday's elections. The current auditorium is more than 40 years old. Although a majority of voters supported the plan, it failed to get the 4/7 majority needed for passage. Still, the superintendent of schools believes a new performing arts center would benefit the school and community.
Part of the discussion was how the entire city would be able to use the Performing Arts Center. Now with this not passing, there's going to have to be other venues that people are going to have to choose.
The next time the bond could be put on a ballot is April 2023. A local veterinary clinic is looking for a new location. Paw Prints on the Heartland and the Southeast Kansas Humane Society are parting ways after 22 years, leaving Paw Prints without a location. KOAM's Shagun Bombadeli has more.
Paw Prints on the Heartlands and the Southeast Kansas Humane Society are separating. The SCK Humane Society wanted a new lease agreement, but Paw Prints on the Heartlands was unable to meet the lease agreement.
Paw Prints could not meet the demands of the lease, and so after failed negotiations, we've been attempting to make it work and keep this as our home, and it didn't work, and so now we've been given an order to leave.
After 22 years of partnership, Paw Prints on the Heartlands is leaving Southeast Kansas Humane Society due to an eviction notice they got last week Thursday. The organization is looking for a new place to call home.
Paw Prints is seeking a building from which to do their spay neuters. We have been evicted from the Southeast Kansas Humane Society building that we've been using for the last 22 years, and so we're needing a home in order to continue the services.
Paw Prints says they need a new home soon, as their last day at the current location will be August 15. In Kansas, Shagun Bombadeli, KOAM News.
We reached out to the SCK Humane Society for comment, but they declined to respond. Freeman Advantage Free Health and Resource Fair returns. Freeman Advantage invites area residents to travel the world of healthcare without leaving Joplin. This event features health screenings, informative presentations, and interactive booths. Visitors received a passport upon entry and then collected the stamps from the various vendors or by participating in activities, which then qualifies them for door prizes.
We had a morning full of presentations on topics that are valuable to people 50 and over.
If you want to learn more about Freeman Advantage, you can go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, here's a fun fact for you. Chocolate chip cookies were an accident. A happy little accident for sure, and one to celebrate today, which is National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day. We have Ruth Graves Wakefield to thank for the tasty treat. Back in 1937, she was busy in the kitchen of the hotel she and her husband owned, the Toll House Inn. Recognize that name? Well, she planned to mix baker's chocolate into the dough, a chocolate cookie, but she didn't have any, so she used semi-sweet chocolate chips instead, thinking it would melt out evenly into the dough. And as you know, it did not in the most perfect drool-worthy way. So bake some up or go the easy route and just buy them. Chow down on the classic cookie.
I could definitely go for some chocolate chip cookies, and today is the perfect day to enjoy some chocolate chip cookies for sure, because it's raining.
Now it's easy because you could just go to the store and buy chocolate chip cookie dough.
That's very true.
It's so good.
That's very true. I don't know where we'd be without chocolate chip cookies.
This is one of my weaknesses right here. Cookie dough.
Yeah. Oh,
Cookie dough.
absolutely. And that's why, you know, I mean, they say you're not supposed to eat it, but then they make an edible kind, and I'm just really confused about all that. But I eat it anyway, and I'm
Well, you
still
look at
here.
all the ingredients separately that go into it, and you're just piling in that shortening and stuff, and you would never eat that by itself. But when it's mixed together with everything else, it's
perfect. It's perfection. Beautiful, bliss, happiness. That's how the rain feels, is beautiful, bliss, happiness, because we've needed it. And we are finally getting another round of it today, and a good amount of it too. You can see Southwest Missouri getting in on the action. Southeast Kansas is a little more widely scattered, but it's definitely some thunderstorm activity out there. But we also have heat advisories out there as well that go until Friday at 8 o'clock, and that is because it's going to get hot again today. 7th and Range Line in Joplin. More rain on the way in the city, so skies are starting to darken a little bit as the rain closes in. 73 right now, cloudy skies and a light east breeze at about 13 miles an hour. Most of us now sitting in the lower to upper 70s. Earlier, there were still a number of 80-degree marks on this board, but now everybody's starting to get into the rain action. It's cooling things off, and it's cooled heat index values off considerably as well. And for some of us, those heat index values are completely non-existent. As we head through the day, the bulk of the shower and thunderstorm activity will be out of here by about 9 or 10 o'clock. We may see a stray isolated storm later today into tomorrow, but most of us staying dry. Temperatures reaching 95 by 5, 92 by 8, so don't forget we do have those heat advisories in southeast Kansas. It's going to cool off nicely though, dropping rapidly in the lower 70s, maybe even some upper 60s as we start our day tomorrow. So open the windows, enjoy this evening, do anything you can to give your AC and your electric bill a little bit of a break. On the future track, those storms clear out, and it does show the stray thunderstorm or two that may pop up around the area. Otherwise, again, staying dry. And then as we start tomorrow, again, maybe a stray storm or two, and it's going to heat up rapidly as we head into the day. Highs pushing the mid to even upper 90s, and that's not going to help heat index values either, because they're going to be pushing close to 105 for a lot of us, hence the heat advisories out in southeast Kansas. And a quick check of the 7-day forecast shows us this. Hot temperatures return quickly by tomorrow, getting near 100 through the weekend and into the start of next week. Some slight rain chances by Monday and Tuesday. Hopefully those will increase because we need more rain. Otherwise, hot yet again. Overnight lows, though, they're not as bad as they could be. And as we've seen, when we've hit highs near 100, we've had overnight lows close to 80. They're actually going to be pretty decent, except for Sunday night and the Monday. We'll sleep through that. But then check out Monday night and Tuesday night, lows in the 60s, which will be nice compared to what we're going to see during the afternoon. We've got more of the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14 right after this.
It's time to honor today's four-state hero, John Short Jr. Short served in the Army during World War II, Korea, and in Vietnam. He was stationed in all of those places as well. During his service, he earned a Legion of Merit Medal, a Korean Service Medal, and a UN Service Medal, among several other medals. Native of Longton, Kansas, We thank you, today's four-state hero.
Well, this morning we're discussing states and abortion rights. A resounding victory for abortion rights supporters in a conservative state as Kansas voters rejected a ballot measure that would have eliminated constitutional protections for abortion in the state, a move that would have allowed the Republican legislature to further restrict or effectively ban the procedure. It was the first time voters had a direct say on the issue since Roe v. Wade was overturned, and turnout significantly higher than expected for a primary contest in the state. 47% of voters coming out. And that brings us to our something to talk about. Do you think that states should have voters decide on abortion rights? It's yes or no. You can vote at KOAMnewsnow.com/vote. You can do so in the app and, of course, take part in the discussion on our Facebook page. So far, 73% of you say yes, 27% of you say no.
So the yeses have grown
They
considerably
have.
since earlier this morning. All right.
All right, well, the star of a new viral video was actually a big star long before the video was shot.
And we're talking about Katy Perry.
In the video, the pop singer, famous for hits like Bon Appetit, is clearly saying, "Let them eat pizza."
Jeannie Moose reports.
Katy Perry has dressed as an ice cream cone cake and a hamburger paired with Taylor Swift as fries. Now she's added pizza throwing to her menu, flinging slices. Direct from the box, it happened at a Las Vegas nightclub where Katy made a surprise appearance.
It looked like she was going to eat the pizza, but someone next to us had yelled, "Hey, we want pizza!"
They got it, slice after slice. Amanda Kurth shot this video. Did any pizza land near you?
Oh yeah, I don't think anyone caught a piece. I don't know how well she is at the pizza throwing, but there was quite a few on the ground.
At one point, she was two-handing it. Perry pizza hysteria swept the internet. Katy Perry, throw a pizza at me. Someone with tickets to an upcoming concert threatened, if she doesn't throw pizza at us, I'm asking for a refund.
There was a couple guys trying to catch it in their mouth. I wasn't going to do that.
Katy herself reposted another version of the video saying, "A mother feeding her children." Someone was reminded of the time President Trump started tossing out paper towels after a hurricane hit Puerto Rico. The nightclub probably needed some paper towels. After Katy was done, in her role as the new advertising face of a food delivery service, Perry has sung about pizza. But when it comes to heaving it, she may not be quite as good as the star of Breaking Bad. It's not easy to stick a pizza. But in a twist to the Dean Martin classic,
when the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie,
when Katy Perry hits your eye with a big pizza pie,
that's amore.
Jeannie Moose, CNN, New York.
I don't know if that's how I would want my pizza delivered in any form, because pizza can be pretty greasy, and that just sounds like a disaster waiting to happen. Like Jeannie Moose's pizza that fell right off the roof and landed upside down.
Please read your closing line.
We'll be right back. Look at stock prices right after this.
You didn't do it right. Didn't do it right.
I don't know.
We'll be back with a look at stock prices right after this.
A California nonprofit organization is going on some unusual fishing expeditions. Its mission is to remove as much plastic junk as possible from the ever-growing Great Pacific Garbage Patch. Max Darrow explains how they're doing it.
The sailing ship Kauai recently returned from its latest fishing trip to the North Pacific Gyre, also known as the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. Its catch, tons of abandoned fishing equipment, single-use plastics, and household goods.
It's a very sad and eerie feeling to be in the middle of the ocean
and to see our own garbage floating out there.
Located halfway between Hawaii and California, the Great Pacific Garbage Patch covers about 620 square miles, an area about the size of Alaska. The floating mess contains more than 1.8 trillion pieces of plastic, which amounts to about 250 pieces of debris for every human on the planet.
Plastics that are made to last for 50, 100, 200 years are not things that belong in our ocean.
The Kauai covered more than 4,600 nautical miles between San Francisco and Honolulu. After a 45-day trip, the Ocean Voyages Institute crew pulled 96 tons of waste like this out of the Pacific Ocean.
One thing that we encountered out there was just a great amount of consumer plastics. All those types of things, they end up thousands of miles out in the Pacific.
Mary Crowley is the founder of Ocean Voyages Institute. She says every piece of trash will be repurposed, recycled, or upcycled into building blocks, insulation, furniture, and even energy.
We've worked with H-Power in Hawaii, where they use it to power homes. We've turned it into fuel.
The Kauai and ships from other organizations are working as fast as they can to keep the floating dump from growing larger.
This vessel and others like it could be out there for decades doing this job and keep coming back with cargo holds full of plastic for years to come.
That is, unless humans change their habits and consumption of single-use plastics. Max Darrow, CBS News.
The Kauai collects trash mostly under sail power. The crew says it makes minimal use of its motor to reduce its carbon footprint. No nation has taken responsibility or provided funding to clean up the garbage patch, partly because it is located far from any shoreline. We've got a lot of rain on the Skywatch storm tracker today. We had a brief break and thunderstorms are starting to regenerate again in parts of southeast Kansas as we get all the way back up to here, down to here, and this patch is really starting to pick up again. And again, no severe weather, just some good thunderstorms with a good amount of rain, which again doesn't negate the drought, but it helps the situation even ever so slightly, and we'll take that help. Heat advisories go into effect today. They run through Friday at 8 o'clock, and that's because despite all the rain, it's going to be another hot one. 7th and Rangeline, clouds are building. There's more rain's getting ready to move into the metro area. 73 right now in Joplin. Most of us are sitting in the 70s across the board after a very warm start to the day. And thanks to the rain, heat index values are all but gone, save Independence, for example, at 80. But that's not very high compared to what their actual temperature is. As we progress through the day, by 9 or 10 o'clock, the majority of these storms are going to be gone. Maybe a stray storm or two across the area as we progress through the day. Otherwise dry, hot, 95 by 5, 92 by 8. Heat advisories go into effect, and these storms will be clearing out of here tonight. Temperatures drop off nicely into the lower 70s. Good time to open your windows, give your AC a break, because over the next few days, the heat returns, and we're going to have highs pushing near 100 starting tomorrow all the way into the start of next week. There might be some rain chances next week, too. That's at least what we're hoping for. We've got more of the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14 right after this.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Here's what's happening today. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan this week has angered Chinese leaders. China has blocked imports of fish, citrus, and other foods from Taiwan in retaliation for hosting Pelosi. While Taiwan is a self-governing democracy and America's 9th largest trading partner, Beijing considers the island Chinese territory. A group of senators is urging the Biden administration to invoke the Defense Production Act to step up production of the monkeypox vaccine. So far, more than 6,300 cases of the disease are confirmed in the U.S. San Francisco leaders warned Wednesday they were about to run out of the shots. And a judge has ruled Elon Musk's answer to Twitter's lawsuit over his move to buy the company will be made public on Friday. Musk announced in July he was backing away from the $44 billion deal, prompting the social media company to sue him.
We have storms to start our day, the majority of them clearing out by 9, 10 o'clock this morning, although an isolated storm is possible through the day. Getting hot once this clears out too, 95 degrees for an afternoon high. Heat advisories in southeast Kansas until tomorrow at 8. Tonight, looking pretty good. Temperatures dropping into the lower 70s. It's a good time to give your AC a break. Maybe open up the windows and let the house air out a little bit. Get some fresh air in because it's going to heat right back up again as highs push close to 100. Going into the future. With these highs getting to near 100, it would not be surprising if the heat advisories actually come back into effect through the weekend. We do have a chance of maybe some showers and thunderstorms as we start off the week. We're hopeful that those chances increase. Of course, we're watching the computer models and seeing if they maybe bring us something a little bit better than what we've been expecting. Otherwise, the one good thing is the last time we had these temperatures this high is we had overnight lows pushing close to 80. The overnight lows are actually going to be pretty bearable, except for Sunday night, but otherwise pretty bearable as we head through the next week, with overnight lows getting into the 60s, as you can see, buys next week, which will be very nice compared to what we have seen. It's just, unfortunately, we got another hot, dry spell coming up. Temperatures pushing again close to 100 by tomorrow and through the weekend.
But what I like about that forecast is there were no triple-digit highs, which is good.
You know, at least right now, those have been removed from the forecast, which, like you said, that's good. I mean, we're hitting 99.
Yeah, I know.
But
it's a mental thing.
Yeah, exactly. Just think cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We're back with more news and weather at noon.
Have a great morning and an even better day.
This Friday.